Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Change Now. There isn't a better advertisement for what today is about than the wisdom and commitment and energy that Gary and Caroline and Patrick have already brought to the stage. I'm so excited to get stuck in. Over the course of today, we're going to hear a lot about the problems facing Britain. We'll hear about democratic decline, inequality, the climate crisis, the state of our public services, and all the challenges that can make this moment feel overwhelming. We'll also hear about the solutions, the ideas, campaigns, organisations, and movements already building power and winning change. But before we get into any of that, I want to hold us in a different moment, the day we have together. The premise of today is simple. We are living through a time of great threat, but also great possibility. With the far right on the rise and our climate in crisis and our democracy feeling increasingly fragile, it's clearer than ever that we cannot keep doing politics the same old way. So the question facing us is, how do we build a credible, powerful, progressive alternative? And part of the answer is in this building, in this day, and in what we choose to do with it. Because days like today remind me that I have the best job in the world. I'm the Deputy Director of Compass, and I led on organising this conference. And the reason it's the best job in the world is because of extraordinary people here. My job is to help you build relationships and connections and strategy across the progressive majority that exists. It's creating spaces like this one, and I genuinely can't imagine anything better. Because I get to spend my days with people who care deeply about their communities, people who could be doing anything else on a precious Saturday, but still chose to show up here. People who are determined to leave the world a little bit better than they found it. That's why I love this work and days like today. Because when I look around this room and the building, I see hope. Not certainty, not perfection, not agreement, hope. There's a definition of hope that I always come back to from the organiser, Marshall Gantz. Hope is the belief in the probability of the possible rather than the necessity of the probable. And if we're honest, the probable can feel pretty bleak. The probable says the far right continues to rise and our politics becomes more cynical and more divided and more brittle and people retreat into their corners. But today is about taking the probability of the possible seriously. The possibility that we can win change, that we can build relationships across difference, and that we can create a politics that is bigger, kinder, more democratic, and more effective than the one we've inherited. That's why this building matters. There are over, I think, 700 people in this building today. There are 13 partner organisations and more than 70 speakers. Those are people from all different parties, campaigns, and traditions with different experiences, priorities, and theories of change. And they are gathered here because they know that none of us can do this alone. When we talk about the progressive majority, we're not talking about some alliance of convenience or a coalition held together just by opposition to Reform or Nigel Farage. It's you, in this building. People who have chosen to sit in today, imagining and debating how we build a better world. Now, if we're all going to make the most of today, I want to make one request. Approach today with curiosity about other ideas rather than certainty of your own. That's why we've designed the day that we have. This conference is not really meant to be something that happens to you, but a day that you help create. Hopefully, you'll all have noticed you were given cards when you came in. One side is pink and one side is white. They're there because we want to encourage richer discussions and constructive conversations throughout the day. All the sessions have substantial time for participation built in because we want our ideas to be tested and challenged and developed and improved together. When you're asking a question, think of the card as an extension of your hand. If you want to challenge something a speaker has said, push back on an argument or offer a different perspective, raise the pink side. If you want to ask for clarity or build on an idea or explore something, raise the white side. And this afternoon, our sessions of conversations for change will take that even further. In Change Now, you can explore the strategies and pitch the organising approaches that you think can mobilise the progressive majority. In Change Why, you can tackle one of the biggest questions in politics. What story explains how we got here and what comes next? And in Change What, you can make the case for the policies and the priorities that you think should be at the heart of this movement. None of that is an add-on. That's the heart of what we're here to do. But more than any single idea or policy, the culture that we create in rooms like this shapes the politics we do outside of them. If we want collaborative politics, we have to practice collaboration. If we want politics rooted in dignity and care and curiosity, we need to treat each other with dignity and care and curiosity. The means are the ends. The process is the politics. Which brings me to a few practical things. Please avoid using the lifts unless you need it. And if someone looks like they need a chair today, please offer it to them. You'll also see our photography and videography policy on the walls outside, so please be mindful of that. And if you need any information about accessibility or where the toilets are or where to go for lunch, you can take a look at our programme or ask one of our lovely volunteers who are all, I think, waving. Some of them are waving. But politics does move quite quickly, so there have been a few changes to the programme. Some of the sessions have a slightly different lineup than printed, but the chair of the session will introduce everyone in the beginning. And to address the elephant in the room, sadly, Andy Burnham's Everton kit and short shorts were in the wash, so he can't be with us today. Patrick has already opened the conference on behalf of Progressive Economy Forum, and to close the day, we'll hear from another PEF member, Kate Pickett, later. And we're thrilled that Zach Polanski will be joining our closing plenary. Before we get properly in, I want to say thank you to our speakers, to the team, to our board, to the event team and the venue staff, to the volunteers, and to our members. If you're a Compass member, would you raise your hand for me? Please do this in the cinemas as well. These events happen because of you. The campaigns, the reports, the organising, the convening that we do all year round are all possible because of you. And if you're not a member yet, welcome. I hope today feels a little like a political home, a home where experts don't explain the world to you, where you're not waiting on the next leader to save you, but one where we all work together to figure out where we're going next. So bring your ideas, your questions, your ambitions, your experience, and your generosity. Because if there's one thing I've learned in this job, it's that the future of the progressive majority will not be built by people who have all the answers. It will be built by people willing to work together despite not having them. And that's why you being here gives me hope. Not because everyone agrees, not because we have the answers, but because every person who shows up willing to listen and challenge and learn and collaborate and act is choosing the possibility over the probable. So take everything you can from today and give everything you can to it. Make a friend, ask a difficult question, go to a session you weren't planning to, change your mind about something, and help build what comes next. Thank you for being here. Let's get started.